let's say, I think jumped to over $100 per barrel. I mean, we didn't see this very shaky movement almost every day. I think things were a bit stable and the rest. I don't know whether maybe seasonal demand too is also accounting for, I mean, the recent surge. It looks like, I mean, OMCs buy the fuel, it runs out quickly, they have to replenish, and it looks like the cost of replenishing is always going up, and they have to, I mean, add it to their price. And that is significantly affecting the stability of the fuel market. And personally, I don't think it's a good thing. And it makes everything very difficult for the motorists, as you mentioned, makes it difficult for, in fact, everybody. Because always, every day you go to the pump, you go to a filling station and you realize price has jumped. Okay, there's a need to, okay, I'm sure you go there, but I think government needs to be very proactive in this situation. Otherwise, things will get worse.
I see. We'll talk about what government really needs to do. But are these price changes unusual, or is this maybe a normal behavior in a deregulated petroleum market?
Yeah, so you see, despite the deregulated, I mean, petroleum market, I mean, we have also, I mean, made a point to go by this window pricing, so that it's not a case that every time prices can change. So this is a bit unusual because, I mean, if you even want to see price change, mostly we expect the price change to happen during the pricing window. And you realize that because of that, MPA is far, far behind in terms of their price plus, because for them, they need to wait for the pricing window in order to price in what is happening. Okay, and that is, I think, what the government is also using to know what to do. Okay, but it looks like, it looks every day the BDCs are facing higher product costs. So they can also wait for the pricing window. I mean, if you go and buy the product and the price has gone up, you can't say you are not going to increase it. I mean, that's going to seriously affect your business. So I think in this current period, the volatility is too high, and it looks like the regulator needs to also maybe step in a bit to have a conversation with all the players so that, I mean, there could be some form of predictability, because what is currently happening is too unpredictable. I think in just one pricing window, you see price jumping over 5 times. That is not, I mean, a good sign. I mean, it leads to a lot of speculation and makes people, I mean, do wild things. So it's important that, I mean, we have, I mean, a conversation in this regard. But for last week, the changing pricing at the pumps have been very unusual. Have been very unusual. Yes.
Yeah, so that's true. We've seen frequent adjustments, but what does the frequency of these adjustments tell us about our market conditions, our current market
Yes.
conditions?
Yes. It clearly tells you that, I mean, we don't have enough. We are not able to store enough reserves to ensure, I mean, our OMCs and our BDCs are having, I mean, enough old stock to sell. It looks like each of them are replenishing at a higher cost, and as a result, reflecting in the pump price. So clearly, it gives you an idea that it looks like we buy what we consume for a short period. So anytime there's volatility in the market, we are likely going to be affected. And I think, I mean, the issue with someone will say, oh, I have heard the MPA boss saying Ghana have a lot of reserves. It could be true, but the point is that, I mean, they can also not intervene with the reserves because I think we all don't know how the war will, I mean, how long it will take. So even if you have strategic reserves, you still want to, I mean, maintain those reserves so that when it gets to the dire situation, then you intervene. And I think that is what maybe the government is watching, the boss is watching, and all the other players are watching. And that is why maybe we are doing regular refill, and as a result, impacting the S-bomb price.
We'll look at all of those details maybe as we go on. But before we discuss who is responsible, I want us to understand the basics. How exactly is the price of fuel at the pump determined in Ghana?
Yes, so when it comes to West Pump price, I mean, NPA has a pricing guidelines, right?
Mm.
And if you look at the pricing guidelines, you realize that, I mean, one, you have to look at the ex-refinery price. And the ex-refinery price is normally the FOB price that the BDCs buy, and they also add their supplier margin. Okay,
Mm.
so, and you see, because they import, exchange rate issues also affect it, right?
Right.
And so it means that any exchange rate movement will affect the ex-refinery price. Now, once I mean the BDCs also sell to the OMCs. The OMCs too have a lot of things to add apart from the ex-refinery price, which has taken into consideration the world market price and exchange rate movement. We also add our taxes and the levies. Okay, so I mean Ghana here we have those flat taxes and levies we are supposed to add,
Mm.
at the pump, and also we also add our margin. I mean we're business people, so we need to also add margin to. But I can say that in recent times the margins that most of the OMCs are charging us very low. So it's now we can't blame the margins for the price hike.
Mm.
I think even if you look at a company like Star Oil, which normally favors, lower prices, you could see that their pump prices are very high. And so it clearly shows that maybe it's not really about the margin, it's the ex-refinery price, which is, taking into consideration the world market price and exchange rate movement that is escalating the current situation.
Mm. I see. That's quite a journey. But so how often are prices typically reviewed?
Yes, so typically you are supposed to review prices every 2 weeks. That's why we use this pricing window.
Mm.
But as I said, if you are going to buy fuel, and you are going to buy fuel from the BDC, the bulk distributors, and they have increased their price, you can't come and start at a loss. Okay,
Mm.
so even though but by law, we are expected to review price every 2 weeks based on our pricing window pricing guidelines. In this volatile market situation as a result of the US-Iran war, we cannot follow that trend. Because if we follow that trend, then most OMCs will collapse in just a week's time. Do you get it? So at this moment, it is more about adjusting to the world market price. So
Mm.
whatever is happening between US, Iran, and the problem, the issue with the world price, why is being volatile in recent times is because another war front has been opened, especially between the Saudi Arabia and the Houthis.
Mm.
And there's a major transit, way
Route. Yeah.
around that corridor. So this has also, affected the supply chain as far as, oil transportation is concerned.
Mm.
And so once you add these two, okay, which everybody, the good thing is that, this morning, I think it was yesterday, because, US president wanted to calm the market, he makes a statement that there's a deal. And, the market quickly responded to that, announcement. And
Announcement.
I
Yeah.
saw, fuel price falling by about 10% with just that announcement. So
Mm.
what it means is that in this current environment, everything that, will come out of, conversation, around the world is largely going to affect fuel price.
Mm.
And I think that's why I'm trying to say, maybe we'll get there, but government needs to be proactive, because you see, if you are allowing prices changing almost every day, every time, okay, without, it's going to affect motorists a lot. And
Mm.
we're expecting them to keep their transport fare the
At the
same
same
rates. That
rate.
will not work for them.
Mm.
So we need to, when the times come, some fuel stations or some OMCs are selling fuel at 19.7. If you look at Shell, Total Energies, they have moved to 19. So very soon you are going to 20. So this is the best time maybe to intervene to support, I mean, either the BDCs or the OMCs, or even take some taxes out for now to relieve us with this, massive pain happening currently.
I see. So let me take you back a bit to the law that you spoke about, and we know that NPA actually supervises some of these things and then gives the price floor.
Yeah.
Does the law give room for instances like this where the OMCs actually just decide on how much to sell, regardless of the
Yeah.
2 week window that we have?
Yeah. So you see, the issue is that the MP has given us a formula to use when pricing petroleum products. Even though that is by law, they are supposed to review it every 2 weeks. The point is that the formula says as refinery price plus something. If I go and buy, let's say, diesel today from a BDC and the ex refinery price has increased, I don't think they expect me to still sell at the current price. No, it means that I'll be making loss and I can't even pay my taxes, and very soon I'll collapse. And the way the sector is moved by what we call how should I even call it? Like every time you are replenishing your products and selling, so it's not like this sector is a sector that you can keep inventory for long. No, it doesn't happen that way. So at every point in time, you need to sell your old stock and replenish. Okay, and that is how we work.
Right.
There, you have to replenish, and once you are replenishing at a higher cost, you have no choice than to review your price. But what the NPA says is that if you review your price, send it to us. Yes, so once we review our prices, we send it to them to look at it, and then they approve. As far as we show our S refinery price, and they understand some of this, and they know at times when a volatile market, so they have also adjusted their law, what the law says, which allows us to adjust prices during during volatile times like this. So the law allows it. Just that, as I said, it's important that you can't be changing oil, fuel price almost every day. There's a need, there should be a stakeholder consultation to stabilize the price a bit for now.
A bit. That is possible, huh? Is that possible? Hello, John. Hello? John, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, great. And I was asking if that is possible.
Yes, I think it's possible. So you see, the point is that the BDCs, most often the BDCs are, their storage influenced by government also has this.
John, I think the network is lagging a bit.
So
hello.
All right. Let me see.
Yes, let's see if you can rejoin. You can leave and rejoin, and let's see. And then
all right,
we can.
sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think it's better. Hello. All right, I think John dropped. He's going to get back, and then we'll continue the conversation. We'll continue to understand exactly, specifically, what is driving this particular movement, because we've seen. He's explained how generally they price and why we are seeing the prices actually go up around this time. We'll go into deeper. We'll go into that deeper so that we can understand exactly what elements are actually fueling the increases that we are seeing. But you can join the conversation now, and then we can read your messages. Feel free to send us a WhatsApp on 054432 1019 054432 1019, or you can also call us on 03039 56641 03039 56641, and I'll read all your messages for you this morning. You can also drop a comment under our live stream. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH, and on YouTube we're at Z Multimedia. Please feel free to drop a comment, and I'm happy to read them for you. All right, so I think I have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
My name is Honorable Duke Niafotemen, sir.
Okay.
independent parliamentary candidates for the Ningwaso constituency in the last elections.
Okay.
With regards to what we are talking about, we must make conscious efforts as a country to be able to make things work. Collectively, we must seek the interest of the people.
Okay.
There are a lot of resources that we as a country we have, and because of our foreign investor affiliations with regards to infrastructural development and technology, we have so very minimal percentages when it comes to our shares as a country. We have gotten to a stage where Ghana as a whole, we must be independent, where we do not depend on foreign investors or infrastructures, but rather we emulate what we have, and then we get to restructure already drafted contracts to be able to suit national and in our interest as a country. So collectively, we must seek our interest first, not the interest of the foreign investors, and renegotiate contracts that does not give Ghanaians and Ghana a priority when it comes to revenue. Thank you.
All right, Honorable. Thank you. I thought your comments were in line specifically with the conversation we're having this morning.
Come again?
No, I'm saying I thought your comments were in line with the conversation we're having this morning on the fuel prices.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. We have enough resources to be able to make sure that we have our own fuel. When we always depend on foreign and importing of all these things, we will not progress as a country. So when we are not producing, we are always importing. And when we have raw material, just because of machineries and technology, you take a larger percentage. How do you expect the prices to regulate? And we don't even have a price regulatory body that is responsible to ask the various filling stations that this is the ceiling with which, if you are increasing your prices, it should be.
That is in place.
Normal commodities.
Honorable, that is in place. So I think that the OMCs, I mean, actually go by the NPA's, pricing price floor over time. And John is on the line. John, in case I'm getting something wrong, you can come in. I hope that is what is in place, isn't it?
Yes. I think he was talking about price ceiling. At the moment, you have price floor, which is just the minimum price you can sell. But in terms of, we expect that, the market is efficient. So if you sell too high compared to other OMCs, you'll be kicked out of the market. So, at the moment, MPA is not really regulating the pricing as far as the stealing aspect is concerned.
Okay.
And I think that's what Honorable is trying to raise. That, yes, we should have a price ceiling.
Right.
But, if you bring price ceiling and price floor, then it's like you are determining the price. So you are taking out, but remember, you have deregulated the market. So you can't do that.
Even the price. Why I'm saying that is, sorry to interrupt. You see, as a country, we must be able to have a ceiling for pricing, not only on the commodities of fuel, but then cut across, to be able to make sure that inflation does not necessarily affect our pricing, but then there is a consistency with pricing, which will help Ghanaians to be able to introspect when we are planning. So when I know that every month I spend 2,000 cedis for my fuel, maximum when it goes up 2,200. But the events where there are various foreign currencies which we create priority with transactions, and within our country we dollarize our transaction and we do not use CD when it comes to transaction, then we'll be headed to where we are headed. But we need to be able to defend the CD and encourage more transaction in our local currencies so that we don't end up dollarizing the economy, whilst it will have a total effect on the prices. So we should have a ceiling as well as encourage CD transaction rather than dollarizing all our transactions. Because Ghanaian CD is Ghanaian CD, and transactions within Ghana must be respected.
Right.
It must be in CD.
All right, Honorable, thanks so much for calling us this morning. We're really grateful.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
All right, you too.
I wish your panel a wonderful day and then a splendid week as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, so that was our caller there. You can also join the conversation. Feel free, send us WhatsApp as well. You can call us on 03039566641, 03039566641. And you can also, send us a WhatsApp if you have any message. Please drop it 0544 321019, 0544 321019, and I'll read all your messages for you this morning. You can also drop a comment under our live stream on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please feel free to drop a comment there, and then we can read that for you. All right, John, thanks so much for coming back. Now, let's talk about what exactly is driving the movement. I think you mentioned three things earlier. You mentioned the international petroleum products prices,
yes,
and also the exchange rate, and you said maybe there are some other things in terms of taxes and all of that. Let's throw a lot more light on that. How does the international one we sort of understand. Please explain the exchange rate one. How could that be affecting the prices that we are seeing now?
Yes, I think in recent times, I think since last 2 weeks, we are seeing, the cedi depreciating a bit. Okay, I think that's for about 5% or so, and that is, impacting fuel price. Especially the ex-refinery price. Okay, so two major things. And you see, sometimes people also take out you just look at the crude oil price. You see, as far as the war is, happening at different fronts, then insurance, transportation costs, especially insurance, also become very expensive. Remember, importation of these products require you to insure. Okay, and because nowadays bombs are flying everywhere, the insurance companies too are a bit skeptical, and as a result, you want them to still underwrite your transportation. They have increased their insurance costs. So all these costs are, building into the ex-refinery price. Okay, and most often the insurance people, they are more pragmatic. Once they see any situation of escalation, they start increasing their costs. And these costs are paid upfront. So once you are facing high costs at the transportation side due to insurance, premium going up and the rest, well, means you also start adjusting your price. So there are three major things that I'm seeing here to be influencing the current price movement. The first one is the world market price of crude oil, which will translate into the refinery product, which which we have seen significant, increase over the last week. The second one is that transportation insurance costs has also increased. You see, the point some people, as far as, some places are difficult to transport, most of the oil companies will try to even move to other places, causing traffic and all that. And all these build up to the cost. Insurance also goes up and the rest. So that is also, critical as far as the increasing pricing we are seeing, like as far as the price we are seeing is happening. And the last one is the depreciation of the cedi. Government has not introduced any new tax at this moment. So the depreciation of the cedi too is impacting it. But one thing I am finding difficult to appreciate about the current movement is the issue of, it looks like it's even rising faster than when the war started and the things were too scary. I don't know if you have witnessed. Like when the war started and things were so scary, we thought it was going to be a full-blown war. We didn't see significant increase in S-bomb price like this. And in fact, when the price was even rising, it was rising gradually.
Yeah.
And it was even happening 2 weeks, and the rest. But it looks like for this one, it looks like the whole price is building up quickly. So maybe there's also a need to look at how the BDCs to our price. Maybe need to go into it. Because it could be maybe a strategic move they are making to also offset some costs or losses they have incurred in the past. That we bring them to the table. Because the current price movement is strange compared to what we witnessed previously.
Exactly, and that has been one of the questions on my mind, because in the past few months, I mean, we've seen oil prices cross the $100
Yes.
dollar mark and come down.
It even got to $110 per
Exactly,
barrel.
and then it came
Now,
down. So,
yes. And you see, the strange thing is that last week, the highest price that, I mean, the world market price went to was just at $90 per barrel. And when it got to $90 per barrel, it started going down. Even today, it has declined further to around the $78 per barrel. So I'm wondering, what is happening? Except maybe the the BDCs are changing their currencies at a different rate, we all know, because maybe it's possible that maybe the BOG rate that is reported is far different from, I mean, what the BDCs are also getting it at the banks. Okay, so maybe that could be the reason. If not, it's baffling how, I mean, this adjustment is happening. Assuming then price start moving up again to the hundreds, now I think we are going to buy fuel at 25 cedis and the rest. So
yeah.
there's a need to, I think, have a discussion with the BDCs to know their problems, so that, I mean, whatever is the hidden cost driving the current price movement, and any arbitrage advantage or opportunities people are trying to, I mean, explore, we have to find a way to, I mean, stop that. Otherwise, I mean, it tends to not be good for us.
So the the concern you're raising about a need for a conversation, who is responsible for that conversation between, I mean, with the
NPA must lead this
NDP?
conversation. I don't know if, you know, people have started blaming NPA. People have started blaming NPA for the, I mean, the continuous increase in prices. I've seen a lot of Facebook pages from, especially from the other side, criticizing him for not doing his work. So I think it's the right time for him to step in to see what is really driving the price. Because, I mean, what is happening at the, I think last week, one of my bosses even had a conversation with me that, but if you look at the world oil price, it's falling. So what is happening to the BDC price, which keeps increasing? And even if you look at the exchange rate movement, yes, the Ghana cedi has not really depreciated so much to the extent that, I mean, it has declined by 20%. So maybe this is expected. I think all these things are in a favorable condition a bit. So I think the NPA needs to be wired on the BDCs to understand what is happening, so that we will have a better, I mean, pricing regime than what is happening now. Because what is currently happening is largely being fueled by how much the price that the BDCs are giving to the OMCs to get their products.
I see. We hope that NPA has those conversations with the BDCs as soon as possible. But how can we pursue that?
Yes, I'm sure government is taking notice of it, and I'm sure government is also worried about what is happening. Okay, so there can be a emergency cabinet meeting to have this discussion, invite the NPA boss and other BDC reps to, I mean, discuss this issue. And if there's a need to support them, especially if it's about the exchange rate differentials, maybe BOG can help with providing them with the forex to buy at a cheaper rate. Maybe that's what is fueling it. Or if there are any arbitrage opportunity they are exploring, I mean, we need to find a way to stop that. I feel maybe personally, I think they are also selling through speculation. So it's this whole idea of price will keep going up. So let's also adjust price up to show up our working capital. You get it? So mostly that is what because they don't know the next one they are going to buy, price goes up, and therefore they have to pay more. So in order to show up their working capital to maintain their existing capacity, they tend to, I mean, influence price in that direction. That's why I said there should be a lot of transparency in the price. NPA needs to ask a lot of questions about what is happening at that sector, especially at the bulk, the BDC side. And I appreciate what is happening, so that if there's any arbitrage opportunity they are taking advantage of, we stop those things to at least relieve the customers from this unpredictable price increment almost every day.
All right, John, we'll try and wrap up soon. So you believe that the international market has a role to play, the exchange rate has a role to
Yes.
play, but you think that there's some more, there's something deeper that we are not seeing.
Yes, because the point is that what is happening is not reflecting on the market. It's not like world crude oil price has moved to $100 or $120. It's still even since last week from even Monday to Friday, the price even went down to 78 and went up again to 83, and today it's open back to 78. So then what at all is driving the current price? Are you getting it? So we can't even blame the because it is at the same price in the decline that we see prices, export price also, declining over last 2 weeks or so. And so I think what is currently happening is not a true reflection of what is happening at the worst. So maybe, as we said, the NPA need to engage more to overcome this challenge.
All right. We hope that is done so that we can get the benefits thereof. So more specifically, I know you've tried to touch on what government can do. What would be your counsel to government or policymakers in line with this? Around this time.
Yes, based on the conversation I've had, you know that I don't want anything to move inflation. In fact, I don't want to say anything because I think I've explained to you that we need to maintain this current trajectory for about 2 good years. There shouldn't be any change in the direction of inflation to change the fiscal and the monetary decisions. So what is needed is that government must intervene. When the price went to 19, the last time it went to even 8, they intervened and brought it back to 16. This is the right time to intervene. You need to help, all right? Otherwise, if people are buying fuel at 19, I'm sure very soon the transporters will start demanding that they will increase their fuel price.
In fact, some of them have started illegally, though.
Exactly, electricity and a whole lot of things. So because if I go and buy fuel that's increased by about 10%, you don't expect me to charge the same rate. You get it? So government needs to intervene at this moment. There's no time to wait. They need to intervene. And looking at the world price, clearly shows that price will go down. So whatever they will do is just an intervention that will not last for long. So they can do maybe this pricing window, they can introduce the tax reliefs. Okay, they can introduce the tax reliefs to reduce the export prices for us. And I'm sure next 2 weeks, price will come down. We lose that Trump is speaking positively at this moment. So price will come down. Let's intervene. Let's cushion the consumers. Let's tame inflation so that Bank of Ghana can continue to do its work. And then the Minister of Finance will also continue to do its work. So I think that at this moment, we need to intervene in the fuel market. It's very crucial we do so. Otherwise, next day you see price going up again.
I see. So, John, by way of wrapping up, so what do you have to say to those who are, pointing to government as increasing fuel prices and all of that? What would be your final words to such people? Or if there's anybody who probably didn't join us from the beginning, what exactly is driving the prices that we are seeing, the recent, changes or adjustments in the prices that we're seeing?
Yes, so I think we all need to understand that what is currently happening is as a result of, the world oil price moving up as a result of the U.S.-Iran war. But thankfully, there's positive news today. So price has started responding to it, which is good for all of us. Okay. And the second issue is that I don't think it will be fair to blame government because it's a deregulated, area where government monitors the pricing of these fuel prices to always try to support in times of, price moving in a direction where it will hurt the economy. Okay, so I think we need to be a bit patient. I'm very sure that, the government is is working around the scene to come in to support, and bring the price down a bit for all of us. But as far as, the war is concerned, we are seeing positive news. So I don't think this will last for long. All right. CD is a bit stabilized. So I don't think it's something we should, worry too much about. But I think the BDCs need to be more transparent with their pricing so that, we will understand what is moving the current price hike.
All right. John, thank you very much for your time. I'm really grateful that you joined me this morning, and thanks for sharing your insights with us.
You are welcome, Mr. Hammond, and thank you to all your listeners. I appreciate the time.
You're most welcome. All right. So that was John Kyei. He is a financial analyst, and he joined us this morning. We spoke about why we're seeing the fuel prices, change from time to time. At this particular rate, and he says that there are a lot of things that actually play a role in there. There's the exchange rate bit of it. There's also the international petroleum product prices as well, and a few other things. But he believes that there is something deeper that may be controlling, and that could be with the BDCs and the price at which they are selling to the OMCs, and that could be what is driving. And he's calling on NPA to actually have conversations and let's see exactly what is driving, because we've seen fuel prices go very high at some point, but currently it is not so high as levels that we've seen in the past. So why are prices still changing? Those are questions that we need answers to. And so that will be all for today. We wrap up now. This has been the Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM. With me, Nitrebi Hammond. We're back again tomorrow for some more interesting conversations. There's a lot of conversations going on around cybersecurity. There's a Ponzi scheme that actually, in our Gen Z language, you say ikpai. There's something that actually went south and people have lost their monies and all of that. We'll have a conversation on cybersecurity tomorrow, God willing, and then we'll see exactly what can be done in that space, or how you can be able to shield yourself from such schemes in the future. And so that's what the conversation we'll be having tomorrow. So make sure you join us for that as well. We'll come around at 6. By 6:15 we are here, and then we'll drive you up until 9:55. So please do well to join us tomorrow, and we'll have a very good conversation. All right, so take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. When you think Ghana, please think Z. Up next is A Brighter Side with Jeremy Okorie Amwaku. Do well to stay tuned. Bye-bye.